Brexit is back, and with a bang. After months of political wrangling, the EU says it's ready to make concessions and scrap the majority of post-Brexit checks on British goods entering Northern Ireland. Speaking in Brussels on Wednesday, the EU's Brexit Commissioner said there will be an 80% reduction of checks on food coming into the country.
Good evening, everybody. A lorry transporting different food products like dairy, meat, fish, fruits and vegetables from Great Britain to supermarkets in Northern Ireland will now just need one certificate stating all goods of different types, class or description meet the requirement of EU legislation. So if you are transporting 100 different food products, only one certificate is needed instead of 100.
Šefčovič also says the EU will greatly reduce the level of customs paperwork for British products considered at risk of entering the wider single market from Northern Ireland. However, there was no mention of ending the European Court of Justice's role in ensuring that EU law is applied properly in Northern Ireland. The UK's Brexit Minister Lord Frost says this is a red line, instead wanting an independent dispute settlement process like in other trade deals.
Second, our proposal looks more like a normal treaty in the way it's governed, with international arbitration instead of a system of EU law ultimately policed in the court of one of the parties, the European Court of Justice.
But the EU's Brexit Commissioner says he wants talk of any red lines to be put aside.
We cannot have access to the single market without the supervision of the European Court of Justice. But I think that we should really put aside this business of the red lines, the business of deadlines.
The revised proposals from Šefčovič are for the so-called Northern Ireland Protocol, the agreement that avoids a hard border on the island of Ireland. He was also keen to stress that this is not a take-it-or-leave-it package, but at this stage, the basis for fresh dialogue. Christopher Pitcher's Euronews from Brussels.
In London today, it's a case of here we go again. EU officials have come here for a new round of Brexit talks, seeking to find a new solution to its most difficult of problems, the Irish riddle of how to keep a land border open between two countries when one has abandoned the customs union they once shared. Yesterday, the EU spelled out the concessions it was willing to make the Northern Ireland Protocol more palatable for the British, including dramatic reductions on the custom checks on goods coming from Britain into Northern Ireland. On Tuesday, the UK added another demand to its list, that the European Court of Justice cannot play a part in policing the agreement. For the next few weeks, officials will try to find a middle ground. Both sides have indicated they are willing to make further compromises, but EU negotiators will no doubt wonder if the UK can be trusted to stick to any agreement they make now that it's trying to tear up the one which has been operating for less than a year. The UK is still threatening that it could simply walk away from the protocol if a new agreement can't be found. And there's talk of a potential trade war if they do so. Much is uncertain, but one thing is true: we still haven't closed the book on Brexit. Ty Genwright, Euronews in London.
After months of British attempts to relitigate the Northern Ireland issue, the EU finally presented proposals to simplify existing procedures in the Northern Ireland Protocol. Not more, not less. Under no circumstances will Brussels renegotiate what's already been decided, signed, sealed and delivered. To further calm tensions with London, Brussels doesn't want to table these proposals on a take-it-or-leave-it basis, but rather as the beginning of a brainstorming period. The ball is now in the camp of the Johnson government, but the proposals are unlikely to be further sweetened as the EU Commission already had trouble bringing all 27 member states on board. France, in particular, has made clear that patience with Britain is running thin. One bone of contention remains, however, and that is London's demand that the European Court of Justice loses its role of arbiter of EU law being applied in Northern Ireland. Brussels ignored the court issue in its proposals altogether. Not a good sign from the Brits' perspective. Brexit, it seems, remains a divorce nightmare. Stefan Grobe, Euronews, Brussels.